What's up, Sky Squad? It's your boy DJ Richie Skye, and we are back in the building. Yes, we're back with another video. We got some things to talk about today. Listen, if you guys in the chatterization, let me know where you guys are watching this video from. We are live on Facebook as well. So make sure you guys are cued in, okay? Cued in and locked and loaded and ready to go. Listen, I'm not even going to waste any time today. I just want to tell y'all first things first. This weekend, this Friday, I'm going to be speaking at the Accelerate 180 conference. It is a business conference held and really started by my friend Ashley Ann. Let me tell y'all something. She is the business when it comes to business, online, and all that good stuff. So I'm delighted to be a guest speaker. I'll be talking about YouTube success, monetization, and all that good stuff. So please, please, please be sure to check that out. Without doing too much housekeeping, we're going to just talk about this real quick. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Facebook as well and join the texting community at 1-202-918-3386 so I can send you guys a link as soon as a new video is about to drop. I want to go ahead and stage dive right into everything that we got to talk about today. First things first, remember how last week we talked to you guys about Masika and Hazel E? Well, it has been revealed that we were correct in our assumption that they were going to be doing the conversation on that good Zeus Network, okay? So basically, the Shade Room has released an exclusive clip on exactly what led to that altercation between the two. And the good thing is y'all ain't got to wait for too long, okay? Apparently the conversation between Masika and Hazel is going to take place on Zeus, okay? They say after years of feuding, these two women sit face to face, one-on-one to have a conversation. What will the outcome be? Well, we know apparently somebody's wig was shifted, okay? Now, this is going to occur this Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you guys can tune into Zeus Network to see. This is executive produced by Ray J and Princess Love. You guys can click the link in their bio to subscribe and tune in. From what I am understanding, it is about $3.99, okay, to subscribe. Let me know if you guys are going to be into the conversation, okay? Will you guys be tuned into this conversation this coming Sunday? Listen, I don't have a subscription to that good Zeus Network yet, okay? But I might just have to subscribe for this one, okay? I feel like this is going to be something interesting right here based on the preview alone. Now, I ain't going to play this preview because, you know, I don't want to get in no kind of trouble or nothing like that. But y'all head on over to the Zeus Network or to the Shade Room to find out. I will also put this link down in the description below along with registration for the Accelerate 180 conference this weekend as well. I see some people not going to be tuning into it. Shamari says, so is Zeus the new Love and Hip Hop Network? Listen, all I know is that it's alleged, well, it's black owned. So there we have it with that. Okay. That's all we know. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? That's the tea on that situation right there. Now we got to move into some more tea that is a little bit more, shall we say, disturbing, okay? We got some tea that is just a bit disturbing that we got to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and bring up this topic of conversation. Now, and not the conversation on Zeus Network, but the conversation today. Now, I know you all done heard and seen or felt the rumblings of Tahiry's reveal to Jason Lee on Hollywood Unlocked that good Joe Budden, well, she is alleging that Joe Budden put the paws on her, and as a result, she received a broken nose and fractured ribs, okay? Now, he outright asked her, basically, was this situation that you incurred as a result of your time with Joe Budden. How did we get to that point? Well, she was on Hollywood Unlocked and she was talking about the incident with Vado. With the incident with Vado, she said we didn't see a whole lot of him shocking her time after time, and that he was doing it to make her look aggressive. Okay. And she asserts that she is not aggressive, even though she threw the apples in his face and she really don't recall where the apples hit him. This is basically her in the interview talking about it. Okay. So that's when they move on over to Joe. Now, after we get off this, after I get off the line with y'all, I'm gonna put the link in the description so y'all can check out the full interview for yourselves. Okay. She then goes on to sort of explain why she went back on Love and Hip Hop to, film with him and Sin this past season when she was on it. She says this: I've had to endure this bully for the past 10 years. I even befriended the bully. I didn't know what else to do. Okay. She then shared that after Joe talked about her situation with Vado on his podcast, she felt like she could no longer keep quiet about the instances with her and Joe from the past. And she says he's lied about his own abuse towards her for forever. Okay. She said that the verbal abuse led to the much more triggering physical abuse. Okay. Apparently she claims that she was thrown downstairs as well. Okay. Now, we on this channel, of course, we always agree that it's never okay to hit anyone. Listen, can I ask y'all, to me, okay, I'm gonna hop back on the screen, but to me, I don't understand why it's never okay to hit somebody. Okay, like we just don't. I feel like we too grown for that at this point in time, right? But for me, what I don't understand is, how do you ever raise a hand to somebody that you love or that you're in a relationship with? That's something that I'll never really understand. I'll never figure it out to this day. I can't quite grapple with how that happens. Okay. But for some reason it does. Now, anyway, Joe is claiming that she is a clout chasing liar. So let's take a listen to his response to what she had to say.
For me, this was nasty and disgusting. This was nasty and disgusting. And for too many years, because I've chose to remain quiet about certain things, just so you could continue a certain narrative, those days are over now. What was alleged here? Let me start with, this young lady is a liar, a cancerous, toxic liar. I'm uncertain why she's lying this way. I'm not certain if she is misspeaking, if she has a false recollection of things. I'm not sure what it is, but she says some things that didn't sit right with my soul, and I'm here to talk about it. Young lady, we were toxic. We're talking about 24 and 25-year-old Joe, 25-year-old, 26-year-old you. We were toxic to each other. And I'm glad that the climate has changed and we are able to have some conversations today that we couldn't have back then. Yeah. Because today I'm very comfortable saying you were abusive. You did a whole bunch of shit that's not normal for a man to speak out about because it makes you appear less manly. Mm-hmm. But that was a really, really toxic situation. None of that needs to be for public consumption. Just that when you go to bed tonight, ask yourself how many times you hands on me, how many times you knives on me, how many times you've threatened me. At 25, I didn't know that was toxic. I thought we was just beefing, like it was normal then. But in hindsight now, yeah, that's what we was sick. We were sick. We were sick. We were sick. And I think for both of us, right, we were reminders of each other's toxicity. And the answer for us was the further we got away from each other would be the further that we got away from toxicity. And that just doesn't appear to be the case here. I'm going to address some of this stuff that was said. You were not clear in how and when and why you got your nose broken, and that Joe had absolutely nothing to do with that. You are a cancerous, toxic, clout check chasing liar. You called me when you got into that altercation with that gentleman and your face and your nose was broken. Why this story is coming up now and how it's related to me exactly, I'm unclear.
You know, this situation is tragic to me because, you know, we have seen instances where she's been aggressive. He has openly admitted to certain actions of aggression as well. And he also admits to the both of them being toxic in their relationship. And so when you have two people who are in a toxic situation together, it sort of breeds a cycle of more toxicity and ultimately volatile behavior. And it leaves both people scarred. And if you don't deal with those situations properly, those things will follow you into your next relationship, right? So the natural question is, okay, initially, I thought when I was going to do this video, I always try to think of, you know, how best to engage with you guys to get a better understanding of what you guys think about the situation. And at first, I was thinking, well, who do you guys believe? And in this situation, it's so tough to determine who to believe because you never want to blame someone who says that they are a victim, but under the circumstances, we've also seen her be aggressive as well. So, and that's just the truth of the matter. You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth of the matter. And while my belief is always that a man should never hit a woman, my belief is also that a woman should not hit a man. So I don't know. It's tough to say. And quite truthfully, none of us were there to witness any of it. So it really does boil down to a situation of he said and she said, right? What do we know now, though? I feel like what needs to happen is on some level, I feel as though the best course of action, specifically for Tahiry at this point, would be to probably really seek more counseling with regards to this situation. Because if you guys watch the interview with Jason Lee, she definitely seemed disturbed when talking about these instances. And so it sort of leads me to believe that these situations, however they came about, have left a mark on her in such a way that she is still affected by these instances, whatever they may have been. Okay? Whatever they may have been to her, that's how she received it. And so as a result, I feel like she needs to continue to do the work to work through those things. Because right now, that's all we know. And everything else is speculation because he has a side, she has a side. And the truth usually lies somewhere in the middle, unfortunately. And someone is right. Angela says she's traumatized. I do believe she's traumatized. Some things have happened and it occurred to her and have occurred, and she is still having to live through those moments, whatever they may be. And I feel like that's all we can say. And I think right now, if it has to be about the healing and not necessarily, I don't want to victim blame. I don't want to do any of that, because it sounds like there was toxic situations all around, and she seems to continue to be continuously reliving that cycle with different guys on some level, right? And again, I feel like in some ways, something needs to happen in terms of her getting sort of the mental health that she needs. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because we all could use therapy. I'm just saying, I feel like I think that she needs to talk to somebody. I feel like that's the only way to move forward in this situation. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because I can only go on what I've seen on television. And what I saw on television that I still don't feel like was truly really addressed, and I don't feel like, to be honest, she totally took ownership of, even though she said in the interview that she apologized to Vado for hitting him with the apples. But we didn't see that. So it's still a he said versus she said type situation, because we didn't see her apologize. And we never saw her own up to it. And even in this interview, she doesn't really own up to it. She sort of still blames him for making her look aggressive. And it's like, someone can't make you seem aggressive. You either are or you are not. It is the throwing of the apple that was an aggressive act. You know what I'm saying? His response, aggressive and uncalled for. Should not have happened. But hers shouldn't have either. And I feel like that's the thing that most of us have an issue with regards to this show, is that there was no accountability for her tossing an apple in a man's face on national television and seemingly suffering no repercussions from it, from the staff, from the network, from Dr. Ish. It was just not even talked about that we saw. So I feel like that's the only thing that I can personally focus on at the moment, because that, again, we are the watchers of the show. We are the audience. So this is what we can react to, because that is what we know that we saw with our own two eyes. And so now a situation that was ultimately between her and Vado has spiraled into some revelations of a past relationship. And now we're going back down that path as well. So yeah, there's a lot of healing that needs to happen. And I don't think that any of it occurred on that show, unfortunately. And this is not to discredit Dr. Ish, but the proof is in the pudding. So we need to, if we really want to call it marriage boot camp and we really want to hit on relationships, we really have to have, two parties who are able to be held accountable. And the audience needs to see that, because that's real. That's real. He should definitely have faced consequences for his actions. He should definitely understand and be penalized for those. But she also has to face those things too. And that is really, I think, how you get two people to sort of come together and say, okay, how was I wrong? How was I wrong? We probably don't need to be together anyway, because we both push each other's buttons in ways that don't necessarily work. But how can we learn from this so that we don't take these behaviors and go into other situations exhibiting the same volatile behaviors that we just came from? Boom. So that's that. I hate, honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I hate these situations. I hate it. And I typically deal in black and white in life. You know what I'm saying? And I know that there's areas of gray, but I feel like I'm trying to learn how to maneuver and walk through these gray situations, But it's very difficult because I'm just of the mindset like, oh, you don't hit nobody. Like, you know, especially in somebody that you're in a relationship with, that ain't what we doing. So to me, this is foreign. It's real foreign to me. I don't know. But anyway, trying to do the right thing, trying to say the right words, but you know, it is what it is at this point. I just feel like this situation is not going to be good for anybody as it continues to unfold. And I feel like now what's happening is it's going to start another cycle of the two of them rehashing and reliving trauma that occurred 10 years ago and moving forward. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if that is what it is, that's what it is at this point. Listen, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, so much for being open and discussing such sensitive topics. I know sometimes we talk about fun stuff and sometimes we have to get into heavy stuff, but it's what's going on in our world. And hopefully we leave these conversations just a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Listen, guys, it's draining. It is. It is so draining. That's all we got for this one, y'all. I am about to head into an interview. Listen, guys, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Hit that notification bell button. Also join the texting community so I can, you know, shoot out quick messages to you right before I'm about to do something like go live, do an interview or something like that. Y'all be good to each other. That's the main thing I'm gonna leave y'all with today. Be good to each other. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video.